and now I'm like 300 hours deep into humanoid robotics research. I converse with humanoid engineers around the world. I talk to other investors that are invested in either Figure or Aptronic or both, and we talk about this 7 days a week. Like, we're doing deep research. We're analyzing the technology. We're trying to assess how quickly it's going to be adopted by the world. Because we're investors in these companies, we have like insight that almost no one else in the world has from their CEOs that I can't speak about on this show because I'm under NDA from both companies. And all I can say is that what I have seen with my own eyes is unbelievably real, and this is happening. This is no longer like a 50% or 90% or 95%. It's like 100%. We are going to have humanoid robots that are going to be doing commercial physical labor that will be able to do any job on Earth before long. And we're going to have access to infinite labor in our world. Think about what it's like to have access to infinite physical labor. What would we build? What industries would evolve from that? How would that change our world? Imagine, there's 100 million people in the world who spend the bulk of their prime years when they should be getting married, having kids, having a joyous life. They spend those years taking care of a parent or grandparent. Not often in our world, but in most of the world, that's common. That's insane. It's actually insane. Could you imagine spending the bulk of your prime years just wiping the butt of your granddad? Well, that's a story that Jeff tells about his grandparents. And that's one of the inspirations of why he started Aptronic. And for 10 years has been trying to build this humanoid robot. And we have a few of these humanoid companies around the world, not many, a few that are truly real and commercial and scalable. That are going to be, I think, become some of the largest companies on Earth. And right now they're very small, except for one, Tesla, right? And so Tesla is not small, but what the funny thing about Tesla is all the exciting stuff happening at Tesla right now, hardly anyone's paying attention to the only thing that matters at Tesla, which is their humanoid division, their Optimus division. So I put out a tweet thread back in January of this year, almost a full year ago. And it was a 15-part tweet thread when no one was talking about humanoids. And it was how the Optimus division of Tesla by 2030 could be valued at $10 trillion based on them only producing 1.5 million robots at $100,000 a year lease rate, which is going to be the going rate for commercial robots. Yeah. Lease. So commercial robots will be leased to the world. So they won't be, you can't buy them. These are robots that you'll see in factories, the robots that you'll see in warehousing and logistics facilities all around the world. There's demand for tens and tens of millions of these robots. And it's not because these companies want to displace humans. None of them do. These companies simply want to grow. They simply do not have the physical labor they need to grow. So these robots will allow them to grow. Depending upon who you believe, we have somewhere between a 50 million and 350 million human labor shortage by 2030 for physical labor. So we need 50 to 350 million human physical laborers, and we're just not getting them. If you talk to these companies around the world, they cannot find young people to do these jobs that older people are doing, physical labor, laying foundation, to all this stuff. So the demand is through the roof. But forget about the demand. Okay. I mean, imagine having infinite physical labor on Earth. What can we build? What can we do? Like, how would our lives change? Imagine every human, as you got older, you had someone to take care of you, right? To help you get up, get out of bed, get to the bathroom, someone to take your trash out. It would allow you to live a more productive, humane life in your older years. It would dramatically increase like the quality of life for almost every human on Earth. Positive things, right? And only positive things for our world.
What is the current state of humanoid robot engineering? What companies are at the forefront of that, and kind of what is the product that they've been able to produce so far?
So there's 3 in the US. There's Tesla with Optimus, there's Figure AI in San Francisco, and there's Aptronic in Austin. Aptronic has been mostly kind of fly under the radar, I think on purpose, but I think we're going to hear a lot more about Aptronic in the next year. There is Boston Dynamics, which is owned by Hyundai. They actually made an experimental robot for 10 years. It's the one that we all saw videos of, and we think is really cool. Yeah. Well, the dog, but also the big one that would do the flips and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The problem is that's an experimental robot that has, hydraulic actuators. It costs like over $1 million to make. It's not a commercially viable robot that you could put in a factory or you can put in a warehouse to move boxes. Do you know how many boxes are moved a year commercially? Like, just think, what would you guess? Just get like commercial boxes, move from trucks to warehouses.
Did you say in the world or
globally? Yeah, globally. Just take a wild
I'm guessing
guess.
probably 10 billion.
No, I'm gonna say 2 trillion.
Yeah, so I did some cocktail napkin math. I'm pretty good at it, but it could be off. But I estimated about 9 trillion boxes a year. I think there are some stats that support a number in that range. But just that alone, moving boxes. And by the way, no human on Earth should have to live their entire life moving sheet metal from 2 feet behind them to 2 feet in front of them for 45 years. Lower back issues, their older years are horrible, right? Those jobs won't exist for humans in 30 years. And that's a good thing. We need to take care of these people in the interim time. And by the way, like I said, no one's displacing these humans anytime in the next 10, 20. Like, we need more physical, not displacing the ones we have. We need to keep the ones we have, but add more. The next generation, they don't want to do that work. But these bot companies right now, it would blow your mind how advanced they are and how quickly they're moving. Like every month, it would literally melt your mind. Like, the things that I've seen, like, it's wild how quickly they're moving. And I haven't even seen everything yet. But they will be doing commercial work next year. There will be humanoid robots in 2025 in factory settings doing physical labor jobs next year in small batches. There's a lot of learning, a lot of edge cases, right? So they'll be working in controlled settings. We're going to try to get them up to human speed, right? Because right now they're not fully at human speed. But I think people in this sector are...
If you want to sell your house in the Edmonton area, Sherwood Park or Beaumont for top dollar without paying enormous commission, doing expensive renovations or hosting open houses, I have a fantastic opportunity for you. Do yourself a favor and download our seller's guide now. I'm Doro Stach, a seasoned real estate professional with Maxwell Devonshire Realty, and I've prepared a free guide just for you, packed with valuable insights on how to make the most of the current market conditions. We've perfected a proven method to getting the maximum price for your home after having helped dozens of homeowners sell over asking price. This strategy is getting pre-approved buyers to make offers on your house so you can sell for top dollar in less than 10 days and without having to do any work.
Are adamant that they can get up to about 120 to 150% of human speed eventually.
And they wouldn't have like 9 to 5 work hours either.
No,
right?
they'll be working 23 plus hours a day. So the batteries last about 4 hours. In some cases, they're hot swappable. In other cases, they're rechargeable. I mean, there's a lot of different approaches, and different companies are taking different approaches. And that part's not even that important. But they'll be able to work 23 hours a day. Yes.
You have robots hot swap the battery.
They will be. No, they will be. No, they will be. They 100%. That's already going to happen. But again, the humans, if any humans were to get displaced, they're going to be doing better things that are probably making more money than they make currently. So, but this is happening, guys. It's not happening like right this second, but we're not talking about 10, 15 years away. When Elon says something, I don't believe it, but it might be true, but I don't assume it's true. But all this talk that, if you read between the lines, the stuff Elon's been saying about humanoids, it's not fully true, but it's kind of true.
And this is, again, something that Wall Street is really not paying attention to. Optimus is